Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So today is probably the most exciting video, thinking about it, of the year, because April is a month that I have been counting down for probably since summer last year. I think I've been waiting for this month for so long because we have so many new releases and I can't even explain my excitement. I'm actually filming this on the 2nd of April, so that means I actually have received the first two new releases that we'll be reading in this video. The first one being Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, and the second one being The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. These two are auto by authors for me. They're my favourite authors. I absolutely love them, and the excitement I have going into these books is like nothing else. I've actually already started Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. It arrived about midday yesterday, and since then it's now midday the next day, so it's been 24 hours since I've owned this book because I'm currently on my lunch break, and already 212 pages in and I'm hooked. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. At the start I was a bit not unsure, but like one of the key things kept getting brought up, and it was the fact that everyone was saying that the main character Xavier looks like Rhysand, however you say his name, and that's fine, but it came up, I kid you not, like about 5 times within 4 chapters, and it hit a point where I was like, is this just going to be brought up 24/7? Because if it is, I'm like, this is kind of irritating. I don't know if it's just because it was like cringe, I don't know, it just wasn't, I was just a bit like, can we just move on from this? Like, I get it, he looks like Rhysand, I see it, that's fine. Anyway, it was put to bed, thank God. So I'm very much enjoying it though. You can see literally all my tabs. And to give you a summary if you're unsure, I actually haven't read the blurb for this one, but it basically follows Xavier and Samantha. They meet, they go on this date, really good first date, and then at the end of this date he finds out she's actually moving to California to be with her family because her mum really sadly has dementia. She's only 54 years old, but it is getting progressively worse, and pretty much all her family are in California helping, looking after her mum. Her mum doesn't remember her because she hasn't been living in California for quite a few years, I think, like maybe like 5 years, and she basically feels really guilty, and she decides she's going to move back, and she wants to help out, and she wants to be there for her mum and her family, and she doesn't want to miss out or feel like she's not helping. So they go on this date. After the date he finds out she's moving to California. They say goodbye. That's sort of that. So instantly, like, they have this amazing date and then they're forced apart because of obviously her mum's illness, her living situations, all of these things. And he is a vet, but he's just opened his own clinic, so he can't really be moving over to California. And also they've obviously been on one date, but he basically can't get over how good it went, she can't get over how good it went, so they end up seeing each other again. And that's kind of like where we are. I don't want to say too much about what's happening because, well, I went into this blind and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I don't want to give too many details in case one of you reading, I mean, it's just come out, so I don't want to ruin anyone else's experience of this, but that's basically the premise. So yeah, you've got Samantha and Xavier. She's moved to California, so they have about 2,000 miles between them, but as you can imagine, hit it off. Their first date, I was laughing my head off. Like, I had such a fun time reading about it. I love their like energy, I love their banter, I just love everything about them currently, and seeing them sort of handle this distance aspect is really interesting. And it's not, the thing is, I think I've mentioned before in other videos, I don't like a fast-paced romance. I don't like insta-love, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not a big fan of it. I struggle to believe in the romance, I don't see it, and I need to believe in it if I'm going to enjoy the book. Normally, when people are saying like that they have this great connection straight off the get-go, or like they instantly know this person's going to be in their lives, or like they can't be without them, or like they're just acting like this person is such a big impact from day one, I'm a bit like skeptical, a bit like, but is that realistic? Is that real? Abby Jimenez has written it in such a way. I am on my knees begging for this couple to make everything work out in the end, because I believe in it. And I think she's just written it so well. It's like not instant love at all. It's not like completely instant love, but it's faster paced with how their emotions are progressing than say like a standard book. But it's just done so well. Like I'm eating it up, and long story short, I'm having a very good time. So, as I said, so far we're pretty much like halfway, I think, maybe just over halfway, and I'll read you a few because I've tabbed a lot. I'll read you a few of the quotes. There's literally one on this page that I have tabbed which says it's from his point of view, and it says, "It's weird knowing what's going to be in your end of life montage as it's happening, but I already knew when my life flashed before my eyes the best parts of it were going to be about her." Like just how she writes, and like the men she writes. Oh my god, there's so many good quotes in this. Oh, he says here, "I thought about you every minute, even when I wasn't thinking about you, I was." Which I just love. None of them are really spoilery, but I just don't want to do anything that's too... Oh, this one's really sweet. It says, "She poured creamer into her coffee. She liked the blue vanilla ones. I made a mental note." And then they're having a discussion about like long-term relationships, and she says, "There's nothing more beautiful than being a witness to someone's life, to know them inside out and be with them through everything, share the same memories are everything, I want that." And he says, "A witness to your life." And she says, "Yes, I want someone who knows everything there is to know about me, and I want to know everything about them." Hello everyone, I thought I would update you because it is now the evening. Please ignore the lighting. This lighting is really not great, but I'm making do because I have to update you because I finished it. I have finished Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I read this within a day. And I can't believe it's over. Like, I need another book. I need another book like right now because I flew through this. This is one of the reasons why I love Abby Jimenez's writing. Like, from the minute I start reading, I'm hooked. There is nothing that could make me stop. Like, I just read it so fast. Like, you just fly through it. And I feel like I blink and I'm done. And it doesn't feel like I'm reading. Like, there's no thought. Like, sometimes I'll be reading and I'm like, oh, and then I'll pick up my phone and I'll end up scrolling for like half an hour and I think, oh no, I need to read. There was none of that with this. I mean, this was a very anticipated read for me, so I knew I'd be eating up, but I ate this up. In terms of rating, I have rated this a 4.5 stars, which is obviously a very high rating. It didn't quite hit 5 stars for me. Just for the Summer is one of my, I think I've already said, but it's one of my like god tier favourite ever books. There is nothing I would change in that book. I absolutely loved it. And this one, I still absolutely loved it. Obviously, I did rate it highly. It just didn't quite give me that 5-star feeling. I don't really know what it was that didn't quite hit it. It was really, really close to it. But I think because Just for the Summer is at such a high rating for me, it's kind of set up for failure. Like, I don't think that book can ever be beaten. Beaten? Bet? I don't know if that's beaten. I don't think anything could compare to that book, which just kind of like sets everything else up for a bit of a failure. But regardless of that, I absolutely loved this. And yeah, I tabbed quite a lot. I didn't tab like masses. I definitely tabbed more in Just for the Summer. And out of like Xavier, who's the female main character in this one, compared to the main character in Just for the Summer, which is Justin, I still would pick Justin. But close second, very close second. This is definitely, I think, my second favourite book by Abby Jimenez. That being said, I haven't yet read Yours Truly or Part of Your World. They are on my list, so who knows, maybe that will change the order. Maybe I'll be eating my words and those would be Just for the Summer, but currently it is still Just for Summer at the top. But I still loved every damn second of this, and I'm obsessed with Xavier and Samantha, and it's just such an emotional story and what they're going through. Obviously, as I said, her mum's got dementia. I don't think I mentioned, but he actually had quite a bad childhood. He's not had the best upbringing. His parents were quite horrific, and he's a veterinary surgeon, and he's really proud because obviously his background's really bad and like his childhood and everything was awful, and he's become like a really great vet and he's opened his own clinic and he's like in this massive point in his career. And then when she moves, like they're both struggling with different things, and just the way it was told, their love, as I said, it was a little bit insta-lovey, which I normally don't like, but somehow Abby Jimenez makes me eat my words, and I actually really, really enjoyed this, and I did actually believe in their love, which I feel like is a testament to her writing, because I never ever normally like insta-love. I struggle with it, but when it's Miss Abby writing it, I'll take it. So also just how cute is this cover? So I'm obsessed and I'm so glad I read it. I mean, I flew through it. So yeah, 4.5 stars, really enjoyed. If you haven't picked it up, definitely pick it up. Such a good summer read. It's been really, really sunny here in the UK at the minute. So this was perfect because I've been sat in the sun, flying through it, reading away, having the best time. So now that we've finished this one, it is time to go into The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Oh, and I'm just so excited. I've seen very good things about this. I've seen a lot of people reading it on TikTok. I've seen a few reviews on Goodreads and they've all been pretty high. I need to take the dust jacket off because I'm not ruining that whilst I read this, but I'm just so excited to read this. And I just can't wait. Also, God, the font is obviously in hardbacks, the font is always quite big. So I probably won't read much because it is 8:45 now. So I'm probably literally only going to read like a chapter. I'm probably going to read only a few chapters, so I probably won't have much of an opinion until tomorrow on this one. But I don't know how long this one is either. 457. This was 350 something, so we've got 100 more pages. Not too sure. I feel like if this is written in true Jessa Hastings style, I probably will still fly through this because I absolutely adore her writing and I'm so excited to read something by her. The only thing I've read by her is obviously her the Magnolia Park series, which I absolutely devoured. 5-star series for me. Love it with all my freaking heart. So I'm really interested to see, like, to read something that's not in that world and see how it compares and if I will still fall in love with it, which I believe I will because, as I said, I love her writing style. I just love her in general, actually. I follow her on Instagram. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you should, but I just love her. I think she's so fun. She's so cool. She's just got such like a bright personality and I just think she's incredible. So I'm very, very excited to read something else by her. And yeah, I mean, we've already knocked one book off, so far so good, and I'm so excited to start this. Hello everyone, I thought I'd quickly update because I don't remember the last time I updated at all, but I've actually finished The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings this afternoon. It's now, yeah, it's 7 PM. So I finished it, I think, at around 4ish, half 3, 4ish. Oh my god. I absolutely loved this with every fibre of my being. I've rated it a 4.5. It didn't quite hit a 5-star. This is obviously based... The only other thing, sorry, I've read by Jess Hastings is the Magnolia Parks universe. That whole series is a 5-star series for me, and that's the only thing I could really compare it to, and it just didn't quite give me the 5-star feeling that whole series did, but I'm obsessed. I feel like I'm guessing there's going to be another one. Is there another one? I'm assuming this is a series. It has to be, surely. We didn't really end on like a cliffhanger, but I kind of was hoping that, oh well, I don't know if that's just me assuming it is. I don't know if it actually says anywhere, or if it's been addressed, sorry, that if it is in a series or not. Let me look. Okay, it actually doesn't say. I'm praying it's a series because I'm very, very, very invested in this story, and Georgia is the female main character we are following in this book. If you didn't know anything like what this is about, it basically follows a girl called Georgia who is basically grown up and she doesn't have a great relationship with parents. One of her brothers is gay, and her other brother and sister, they don't get on at all, they butt heads. She doesn't really see eye to eye with her parents, and then something quite traumatic happens and she gets basically shipped off to England. They live in South Carolina, I believe. She basically gets shipped off to England, I think when she's 17, and it then follows her. I think she's now 25, 26, 27, maybe in that ballpark age range, but she goes off, she goes to Cambridge University and studies behavioural psychology, and it's really interesting being in her point of view because she reads people basically. She's like a human lie detector, like she can read emotions and stuff, and when you're in her point of view, she'll be having a conversation and she will mention like how someone's eyelid or like eyebrow raise or the smallest like tug of their mouth and stuff, which is all subconscious things that everyone does when they're talking, and she sort of like analyses their behaviour and can figure things out, and it's so interesting. And then we also have our male main character, Sam. Jessa Hastings has done it again. I've fallen in love with another man written by Jessa Hastings. I mean, she does it like no one else. I'm obsessed with him. I love him. He is her brother's what's her AA sponsor. So her brother is an recovering alcoholic and Sam is the AA sponsor, and basically at the very beginning Georgia's dad has had a heart attack and died. She hasn't seen her family in years, pretty much since, I think it was, yeah, since she basically got shipped off at 17, 18. She hasn't seen them, she's barely kept in contact with them. Her and Oliver, the brother that's gay, they're really close, but they haven't really seen each other in a while either. She's aware of his addiction and like recovery and everything, and anyway they're all forced back together basically because their dad has just died, and obviously she now, since being away, has come back. She can read people, she can see all these different things, and there are a lot of secrets with many of the family members, and seeing her like unpick certain things from them and all these like horrible truths come to light, and just the development in the family and just the plot. I'm not going to go into any more detail, but as a whole I would say it was done so well, and just the poetic way Jessa Hastings writes. I'll see if I can find some quotes. This is one of, well, this is just a random one, but she says to him, isn't, this is Georgia and the main male character, sorry. She says, isn't it the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? I stare up at the big arch, which is my favourite part, I think, even though it's broken. He says, yeah, he goes, yep. He says quietly, and he's just looking at me. Stop, because I actually can't deal with it. And there's this really cute one. My head tucks neatly under his chin like maybe we're Russian nesting dolls of the same set. There's just so many, just really, like, the way she writes, it's like nothing else. And I really like, where's this one other one? Oh, it says here, he holds my hand all the way until we reach the front porch and then I let go. Not him, because I don't want to know what it feels like to have him let go of me in any capacity. They're just some of them, but if you haven't read this, please read it, because I had the best time. I flew through it. I was hooked. I'm just so glad that I had something new of Jessa Hastings to read, because I'm currently, well, I say currently, I've reread the first 2 Magnolia Parks books so far this year, and I do plan on rereading all of them at some point throughout the year, and this really did help with the fact that I miss her writing, and just having something new. Forever grateful, but I'm so sad it's done. Like, I'm so sad it's over. So anyway, that was an amazing experience, and yeah, literally can't complain. Like, that was the best thing. I didn't really update throughout reading it because I was just too like engrossed in the story that filming it just didn't really pop into my brain. However, we do have another new release coming in 2 days. Fearless by Lauren Roberts is coming out on Tuesday the 8th, and we're now on, it's now the 6th of April, so as I said, it's Sunday. So on Tuesday I will be receiving my copy of Fearless, which I'm fuming that it's in hardback. Don't even want to get into that because that hurts my heart, because the other 2 I've got in paperback, and now I'm just going to have a random hardback, but I couldn't not purchase it immediately. So that will be arriving, fingers crossed, on Tuesday. So I'm actually just reading quick. This is the only Annabelle Monaghan, Annabelle Monaghan, I think that's how you say it. This is the only one I've left, I believe, that I haven't read of hers. I've read Nora Goes Off Script and I've read Summer Romance. I really loved those books, so I picked this one up because it's short, because the thought of not reading for 2 days, not going to happen, I will spiral. So I was like, I need something short that's going to keep me gripped until Fearless comes, because the minute I get that book I am going to devour it, and I'm so excited. I love Kyan Payton. I can't wait to see what happens. But obviously for now I'm pausing where we are. I will pick up back when I have Fearless, and yeah, that's the next journey we're going to go on, which I'm so nervous about but I'm so excited for. So yeah, I will see you when I have Fearless in my possession, which is just like, what the hell, been waiting so long. I cannot wait. Hello everyone, so it is now the, what is the date? The 9th of April, so none other than Fearless by Lauren Roberts arrived yesterday. I currently don't have the, what's it called? The cover, I don't know what you call it, but I don't currently have the cover on it because I'm obviously reading it, so I thought I'd just show you. This is the Waterstones exclusive edition, so it does have pink sprayed edges, which I didn't actually realise. And then it says at the back, Forever My Undoing. And look, the map is pink. Anyway, so obviously this was delivered to me yesterday on release day, and I'm now currently 158 pages. So I've done quite well since obviously receiving it, getting it delivered yesterday. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm so glad to be back in the world, and just, I love it so much. The only thing I will say is it didn't really pick up, as in plot wise, until about 100 pages. Like the first 100 pages was kind of, which I understand because obviously you need to like get into the grips of what the plot of this book is. I feel like we've kind of hit that. I think there'll be more to it than what's currently come up. I'm not obviously going to say anything because I don't want to give any spoilers. This is obviously a brand new release, so I'm not going to mention anything that could potentially hinder your experience. But yeah, it did take about 100 pages for us to get into the plot. I do think there will be more plot points than just the current one. I feel like there's no way we can go through the rest of this and only have the plot that we've kind of got and come to a resolution and everything like that. So I'm excited to see what happens. But yeah, as I said, the first 100 pages, it was good. It was so fun being back with everyone. Like you figure out like where everyone is, what the situations are, and then obviously it builds into like what's going to happen. But yeah, the first 100 pages, it's a bit slow, and then between like the 100 and 150 things start to pick up. It's still not extremely fast paced, that's just my take on it currently, but I'm still having a good time. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be back in this world. And also how cute that my bookmark, this is one I just got off Etsy, I can't actually remember who made it, but I just got it off Etsy and I didn't realise, but the bow literally matches, so how cute. But anyway, I'm actually about to go out for dinner. I'm meeting a few of my friends for dinner tonight, so I'm probably not going to get much reading done. I'll probably read like a few chapters when I get back this evening, depending on what time that is. But yeah, I feel like I'm enjoying it. I have no idea what's going to happen. The plot point that we kind of got around the 100-page mark, I was kind of expecting, or I had an inkling that that kind of what happened would potentially happen. And yeah, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm just hoping I feel what I felt with Powerless in this one, obviously Fearless, because Reckless I enjoyed. I don't know if I've said this already, but Reckless I enjoyed, but it did not hit anywhere near as much as Powerless did for me. I felt a bit like it gave me middle book syndrome, and I felt like it was just a lot of nothing, and it could have been like a lot shorter. I think it could have been a novella if I was being honest. Like I feel like Reckless could have been a novella, and then obviously Fearless, but that's just my take on it. I know some people had the same opinion, some people loved it, so it's all obviously each their own. But yeah, so far I'm having a good time. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm loving the special edition. I've tabbed a few things already. I tabbed the hell out of Powerless, so I've gone with the same sort of like system as I did with that. But yeah, I will definitely keep you updated on my experience, my thoughts, my opinions. As I said, nothing that will ruin your experience or spoiler or anything. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I love Pie. I love Pie. I love Paden and Kai. What I will say though is a lot of the, like, as you know, there's a lot of viral sounds of certain things Kai says to Paden, and I feel like because of that hype around them, they've popped up a lot. Like there's like my pretty pay, or like these certain lines which I think were mentioned probably once or twice in Powerless. Can't remember if they came up in Reckless, but like they seem to be coming up a lot in Fearless. It's Fearless, isn't it? Yeah. I feel like she's aware of like what one-liners that he says, or like the things he says to her, and I love that because I obviously am a big fan of it, but I'm like, can we get some new ones? Like, can we get some some new little Kai phrases because we know and love him, so like I just want more. But yeah, anyway, that's not a big thing, by the way, that's not like ruining my experience, but it is something that I noticed. There's been quite a few different things or like certain phrases and I just think I feel like it's getting a bit forced. But as a whole, I'm very much enjoying it. Not gonna try guess rating currently because I don't really have a clue. It's not giving me 5-star feelings, but obviously, as I said, very early in. Don't know what percentage I am, but yeah, about 100, obviously 100 odd pages in now. So anyway, I need to go because I need to go out for dinner, but I will definitely update shortly. Hello everyone, so I've actually not updated in a very long time. I have read and finished Reckless and I have been awful at keeping up with my updates, everything like that. I'm going to check actually when I finished Reckless because I have read other books since then. And it has been, I want to say, a week? Nearly, I finished it, no, I'm correct. It was a week today that I finished Reckless and I have yet to update and just give my thoughts and opinions. I don't actually have the physical book with me right now, it's in my shelf, but I thought I would quickly update. I'm about to go out for dinner, so I'm going to give a really, really quick update, seeing as I said, not really updated much with this one, and I do apologise. I've just been so busy with work. Luckily now it's Easter weekend, so I have a 4-day weekend, so hopefully I will be able to maybe start another reading vlog, do something else. Anyway, besides the point. So, Reckless, I rated it a 3.75/4. I can't quite decide on where I sit. I feel like I'm sitting more 3.75. I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time. I read it within like 4 days. I loved being back in the world. I love Kai and Paden. There were just some things that I couldn't quite get over. One of them was, I felt like, as we all know, a lot of Kai's phrases and words of endearment and just flirty banter quips with Paden, they went viral from book 1 everywhere. Everyone talks about it, everyone loves it, everyone was eating out because it was incredible. I feel like obviously Lauren is aware of this and it felt like rinse and repeat, copy and paste. Like some of the sayings, it felt forced, whereas in the first book obviously it felt very natural. You kind of got to know him. Book 2 I didn't feel like that way. I felt there was different things being said and it felt new and stuff, but then the third book I just felt like it was like I said, copy and paste. Like there was just so many of the phrases that went viral from the first book that were then brought back in, and it kind of felt like because it had been used, it felt very forced. It didn't feel as genuine. It kind of felt like it didn't feel natural like it did in the first one. So that was one of my like sort of bugbears with it. And then plot wise, I enjoyed the plot. I felt like it was really good. I felt like it was fun, but I felt like it was quite slow into like 50%, 60%, because there was, I'm not going to obviously say anything that happened, but like there was stuff that happened, but it just kind of got dragged out a bit. Like I felt like we were reading chapters of the same thing, like nothing was really going anywhere. And then things started to be revealed in the back end of the book, like the last 100 pages there was a lot revealed. There was a twist I didn't expect, but then my other thing was I kind of predicted a lot of what happened. I felt like it wasn't groundbreaking, it wasn't shocking, it was kind of just like, okay, yeah, or like, right, I don't know, I feel like it was quite clear. And I just thought we could have scrapped the first 30%, started from the 30% point in this book and added on to the back, because it felt like it was quite slow. Then stuff happened and then so much happened and was revealed at the end. The end felt really rushed. Like it was just really complete, like really kind of off pacing wise for me. I just felt like I didn't really know. Like 1 minute I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere, this is a bit slow, but like, can we get there? Then we got there. Then it was kind of like, okay, whatever. And then the end I was like, everything was happening at once. And there was only, I think, 1 or 2 things that happened that really actually threw me. I feel like everything else was just like, okay, cool. So yeah, that's kind of my summary on how I felt about it. But as I said, I did enjoy it. I love Kai and Paden. I was happy to be back in the world. But yeah, there was just certain things like, yeah, as I said, Kai's phrases, I felt like they just weren't original. They just were rinse and repeat. I felt like they didn't fit. It didn't feel natural. Every time I'd read one, I'd think, which isn't the way I normally am. Reading Powerless, I was like eating it up. We love Kai, and I still love Kai, but yeah, it just felt a bit forced with certain things. And then yeah, the pacing and just the plot, I felt like there was a certain point in the plot where, as I said, I'm not going to say anything, but there was a certain point where something was happening, and I actually was reading it with a friend of mine, and I was messaging her and I was like, oh my god, I think this is going to happen. And it didn't happen what I thought, but she replied saying, oh my god, that would have been incredible, like if that had happened. And all I can now think about is if what I thought had happened, I felt like it would have been so good, and I think we could have got another book out of it. Like, I honestly felt like there could have been another book had the pacing and the plot kind of changed, been tweaked. But obviously, I'm no author, and at the end of the day, I still love Lauren. I still think she's great. I still really enjoyed the book. Obviously, I think we're getting another novella. Not too sure who it's going to follow. I think I have an idea based on what happened in the last book, but I don't want to say because I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, I have an idea. So overall, not bad, not the best, not a 5-star. But after reading Reckless, I didn't really expect it to be a 5-star, to be honest. Like Reckless, which is the second book, I didn't enjoy anywhere near as much either. I felt like that was really second book syndrome. So number 1, it will always be my favourite, and then number 2, and then the second one. No, sorry, number 1, number 3, and then the second one is like sort of my ranking with that series. But yeah, I'm glad I got another series crossed off, so I'm happy about that. Also, updates. I think when I checked in about Conditions of Will, sorry, by Jess Hastings, I said it was a 4.5. It is now a 5-star. I've thought about it a bit more. I've not stopped thinking about the book. I devoured it. I want to reread it already. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed that book. So that was actually a 5-star. So we have had one 5-star out of all the new releases we've tried. Obviously we've done Say You Remember Me, The Conditions of Will, and Fearless, sorry. They're the 3 we've done. It is currently the 18th of April, and Miss Emily Henry, her book comes out on the 24th. So I think I'm going to pause this here, saying that I actually did pick up another new release earlier today, but I don't think that's going to be part of this video because I think probably it's quite long. I don't know how we are. I've not edited any of this. I've got a lot of editing to do, a lot of catching up to do. I'm going to use it this weekend, so I think I'm going to pause it here, and then I'm going to pick back up when we have Emily Henry's book so that they can all be in one video, because I feel like that makes the most sense. But yeah, I'm reading other books at the minute. I haven't filmed anything of me reading them just because I've been really busy and I just wanted to read. But yeah, I've been enjoying quite a few. I actually picked up a few books today. Hold on, I'm gonna go quickly grab them to show you. So I actually went and got my nails done earlier today, and I picked up 3 books from Waterstones because it's double points for Easter weekend, so I felt like that was a sign, read not to. Also put in a few pre-orders. If you don't already pre-order stuff on double points, this is your sign to do so. Anyway, I got 3 books. The first one is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I've heard so much about this. It's not... What am I trying to say? I feel like everyone's read this. I've heard amazing things, and I saw a video of a girl reading it on TikTok and she literally was crying her eyes out, and I love to be emotionally ruined by books. I love books that make me feel things. I want to cry. I want my heart to break. I don't know if that says a lot about me, but that's what I'm after. So I heard good things about this one. I do actually have it on my Kindle, but I love the cover, and I've been putting off buying this probably for like a year. So I saw it and I thought, you know what, double points, I'm gonna do it. Then I picked up the Catching Fire special, is it Catching Fire? Yeah, Catching Fire special edition. I bought the first Hunger Games special edition the other day. I actually haven't read the Hunger Games at all. I've seen the films, I've never read it, but I want to do a video reading it for the first time. So I'm sort of like picking them up as and when, because I know I'm probably going to want to read them straight away. So I sort of picked this one up for whenever I do film that video. And then the next one is one of the new releases that I haven't spoken about, but is none other than Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. I really love Phantasma. I think I rated it 5 stars or a 4.5. I rated it really highly. I really enjoyed it, and I think it is on Kindle Unlimited, but I do have the physical copy of the first one, so I was like, well, you kind of have to get the physical copy if you've already got it. I need the pair. Don't know if this is a duology. I think it is, but oh, there's like pictures. Oh no, it doesn't. It just says 2 months later. Oops. Hopefully that's not, it's not really a spoiler. But anyway, yeah, I picked up this one because I really, really want to get to this. As I said, I don't think I'm going to get to it in this video just because now that I've decided to do the Emily Henry one in this video, I will probably just wait, do that one and then round it off there. But anyway, that is my update. I need to go because I, as I said, am going out for dinner and drinks tonight with my friend Harry. I'm really, really excited. It's bank holiday, long weekend. I'm at the Lake District next weekend for another long weekend, so I'm pretty busy. I want to get everything sort of done. I want to get a lot of editing done this weekend. I want to read a lot this weekend. It's busy, but yeah, that's kind of where we are. So I'm gonna go drink, go have some nice food, and yeah, I'll hopefully probably update with you when I have the Emily Henry book in my hands, which I'm so excited for. Hello everyone, so it's now been a few days since my last update because obviously we're waiting for Emily Henry's new book to be released. Also, please ignore the way I sound. I'm a bit sick at the minute. I've been ill since, it's now Wednesday and I've been sick since about Sunday night, Monday, and it's lingering, which is really annoying because I go to the Lake District on Friday, so I'm really hoping it clears up because I've currently been feeling like death. This is the most alive I've felt since Sunday, and I'm meant to be going hiking and doing all that kind of fun stuff in the Lake District, so fingers crossed I feel better. I still feel a bit dead, I don't feel great. Yesterday was a lot worse though, so we're getting there. But yesterday was actually the release day of Emily Henry's new book, which is Great Big Beautiful Life. I didn't actually get my physical copy until this morning, so I was reading on my Kindle yesterday because I could not wait. I just wanted to read it straight away. So we finally have the book. I don't actually have the dust jacket on it currently because I don't like to read with it on, but how cute is this? Is the Waterstones special edition, I believe, and it is signed, which fills my heart with so much joy because she's actually held this book like my favourite author. She is hands down one of my favourite authors, maybe definitely top 3, and the just joy of having something new to read of hers, especially when I was feeling ill, was just like a comfort blanket because yeah, being ill recently, it's not been it, it's not been the vibe, and it really is annoying me how I sound, so I do really apologise because I feel like it's probably irritating, but yeah, anyway, I'm actually 193 pages in, so I don't know how many pages there are. I think there's like 400, so I'm nearing halfway. 415, I just don't want to look too far in because I don't want to ruin anything, but yeah, I'm nearly halfway. I'm hoping to get a good chunk of it done today because ideally I want to try and finish it before I leave on Friday. I leave at 6 AM on Friday, so I literally have this evening. However, I'm out for dinner with my parents and my brother because he leaves to go travelling tomorrow, so out for dinner tonight, and then tomorrow I need to pack and everything, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done. It's quite optimistic for me to think I'm going to finish this by tomorrow, but I'm going to try my damn hardest because ideally I don't want to take a massive hardback with me. I'm probably not really going to read much over the weekend anyway, so yeah, fingers crossed I can get it done. But as in terms of thoughts, opinions, how I'm feeling, I'm loving it. I mean, I'm not surprised. This is a predicted 5-star for me. I love Emily Henry. I don't think I've rated anything lower than a 4-star by her. My least favourite one was, what's it called? You and Me on Vacation. That's my least favourite. Ranking wise, I'm not too sure. I know that's my least favourite, and then I think weirdly Happy Place. I know that's probably not what you'd expect, but like, everyone loves Happy Place. I didn't love it as much, but I think I need to reread it. I think I need to reread it because I feel like maybe it was just the timing of reading it. But then Happy Place, and then it's probably Book Lovers, Beach Read, Funny Story. But Funny Story and Beach Read consistently switch in my head. I think that's all of her books that I've read currently. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I absolutely loved Funny Story and I absolutely loved Beach Read. They're my top 2. This one, I have no idea where it's going to end up. Obviously, I'm only nearly halfway, but I'm really enjoying it. It is definitely different to anything else I've ever read by her, and it is very much giving Evelyn Hugo vibes. Because this is a bit more, not like a mystery, but it's a bit more plot heavy than romance. There definitely is romance within it, but it is definitely, well, so far it seems to be a lot more plot driven, but I'm loving it. I just love her writing style, and I'm finding it really interesting, and just, I feel like she's nailed it. Like, she's done it so well. So if you don't know what the premise of the book is, basically follows a girl called Alice. I believe it's Alice. If I've got that wrong, I'll be shocked. Doesn't actually say, but yeah, I believe it's Alice and a guy called Hayden, and they're two different writers, and they basically both get not called, but like they both end up going to meet this lady called Margaret, and Margaret was basically in the limelight her whole life. Her family is like well known, they were huge, they ran like multiple businesses, but they basically had like, maybe not Kardashian level, but similar to that, like their whole family, like they were known. It was called like the House of Ives, because I think that was I believe that was their last name. So like they basically had this whole like empire, and obviously she was born into it. She's been in the limelight her whole life, and then about 20 years ago she just disappeared and no one could find her. Alice was an absolute fan and loved her and her relationship with this guy called Cosmo. He was like a famous singer, and they had like this really wild romance that was like all in the media. Anyway, and then he passed away tragically, I believe, in an accident, and she disappears, and no one's seen her or heard from her in like 20 years. But long story short, they both end up with the opportunity to interview her and potentially write her biography. So they basically both have this opportunity to write her biography. She basically tells them both that she's going to work with them side by side for a month, and then they will go off and write the start of the biography based on like their interviews with her, and then she'll pick one of them to carry on and take on her story. So it's really, really interesting, and this is where I mean, like, obviously it gives Evelyn Hugo vibes, because that's pretty much very similar. There's no like battle for who writes the book, but Evelyn Hugo, similar premise of the sense of like it's a very well-known famous lady who now wants to tell her story years later, and she basically gets someone to write it. So it's similar in that respect, but I'm absolutely loving it. And I know this isn't romance heavy, but I'm really loving the romance aspect of it just as much as the plot. Like, even though it is a lot more, as I said, a lot more plot driven, I think going into this thinking it's going to be a typical Emily Henry romance is slightly deceiving, because I think then you might be, I don't think you're going to be let down though. I don't think you're going to go into it and be like, this is a disappointment, because the romance is there, but the interviews with Margaret and like that whole storyline currently anyway is a much more, what's the right word? The focal point. It's the focal point of the book, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I can't believe I've got this far, to be honest. Like, I've just flown through it and I'm eating it up, like the tidbits of the romance and then the plot with Margaret, and just the way Margaret is, and like the story and the way the story's being told. And I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's a new release, I don't want to ruin anything, but I'm really, really enjoying it, long story short. So hopefully I'll have some more updates shortly. I'm hoping I'll feel better, and hopefully when I speak to you next I will not sound like this. But yeah, long story short, really, really enjoying it. pyjamas and it is April, nearly May, but they're really comfy. But I'm probably about halfway through. What is this again? Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. Sorry, still sounding sick. But I just wanted to tell you guys a quote because I thought it was really cute and it reminded me of a similar, not a similar quote because they're not similar, but like the tone of the quote, if that makes sense. There's a quote in Funny Story that, I don't know who says it first, him or her, but he basically says to her, no, I think it's the other way around. I'm pretty sure she says it to him. And I'm actually going to get it up so I don't ruin it. So in Funny Story, Daphne says to Miles, you like people almost as much as they like you, and it makes being around you feel like standing in sunlight. And then he says, you feel like sunlight too. And that's one of my favourite quotes from Funny Story. And there is a quote in this which is currently, I think, my favourite quote in this book. And it's not similar, but it just made me think of Funny Story, and I think it's just classic Emily Henry and the way she poetically writes. But he says to her, I think you live in a world that's more interesting than the one most people live in, and I wish I could live in it too. And then she says, I'll take you sometime. And he says, I'd like that. And it's just so cute. And I just loved that. And I've tabbed quite a bit. Don't know if you can really tell. But yeah, I've tabbed a fair bit. I won't obviously say too much because I don't obviously want to. Oh, and it's this one as well. He says to her, I don't know anyone like you. And she says, I don't know anyone like you. And he goes, I'm serious. And she goes, so am I. And then it says, when his eyes rise to mine, it feels like the world has tilted slightly on its axis. Like, hold on, my Netflix is playing Shrek. What the hell? I just had the fireplace on. You know, when it comes, like, after it's finished, it gives you, like, suggested things. Anyway, sorry. So she says, so this is, like, in a monologue. She says, when his eyes rise to mine, it feels like the world has tilted just slightly on its axis, like this is the first time I've ever felt the full weight of his gaze and I can barely breathe, and I want to say something or do something, but I'm not sure what I can say, can do, where the delicate invisible boundary lies between us. But I just love it. I just love her writing. And also this one, he says to her, you might be the least cynical person I've ever met. I'm not sure I've ever known anyone like you. And she goes, you mean naive? And he says, no, Alice, if that's what I meant, then I would have said it. But honestly, I love it. And I'm still thoroughly enjoying it. I think I'm surprised at how much I'm loving the romance, purely because I saw other people's reviews and they obviously said, as I've said, it's much more plot driven and the romance isn't the forefront of the book, but I'm still so here for the romance. Like, I love Hayden and I love Alice, and I really resonate with Alice. There are certain qualities and just the way she handles things really resonate with me, like her whole attitude, her really positive outlook on life, the way she's always just full of life, and I feel like I resonate with that quite a lot because I feel like sounds really like I'm really positive and I'm whatever, but like I feel like I'm quite a positive person. A lot of people have said that to me, and there's certain things that Alice not really goes through, but like there's certain things where people point out or something, and it's like when she's like, oh, you think I'm naive, or like, oh, whatever, and he's like, no, you have a really nice way of looking at life and stuff. I don't know, I just really resonate with Alice and I love her, and I just love her attitude and I love everything about her, and I equally love Hayden, like, which is surprising because at the start he's a bit, not like rude or anything. I guess maybe you would say rude, but he's just not very polite. Like, whereas she is very polite, some people would say like overly polite. And I think in contrast it makes him appear cold, and he is definitely less warming and less open. But I still love him. Like, I still am eating it up, and seeing him slowly let her in and become like open himself up more, I think that's also why I'm so here for the romance, because you can see like him becoming more open to her as a person as they spend more time together and stuff. I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it, which is not a surprise because it's an Emily Henry book. I mean, I'm yet to find one I did not enjoy, and I just love this. And I just really love the plot as well. Like, I'm really intrigued to see where the plot is going to go. I'm intrigued to see where the romance goes, and I'm really intrigued to see where the plot goes, because I don't know where it's all going to go at the end of the day. But yeah, as I said, very much Evelyn Hugo vibes, but with a romance. But I'm enjoying this one more than Evelyn Hugo. I did enjoy that one, but it didn't really hit me or grasp me. I did read it about 2 years ago, so I don't know if that's... Oh, sorry, I had a hiccup. I don't know if that's part of the reason. Like, maybe if I read it now, I would have a different opinion. I don't know. But anyway, that is my current update on this one. I'm going to continue reading, and yeah, hopefully I'll have more updates. So I actually finished Great Big Beautiful Life on Thursday. It is now Monday, and I'm actually off work today because, I don't think I said, but I was meant to be in the Lake District Friday to Monday, but we ended up coming back yesterday in the end. So I'm off today, which is really nice, especially because I don't obviously have a great voice right now. So I'm just trying to rest and just chill, unwind, and then I'm back in work tomorrow. Anyway, that's besides the point. We're here to talk about this amazing book. So I absolutely loved this. I've rated this a 5-star because there's something about Emily Henry. She puts crack in it. The minute I start reading, I'm obsessed, and I just loved the storyline and I loved the characters. I think I said the romance isn't... It's still very romantic. I feel like saying there's no the romance isn't heavy is true, but there is still romance in it. And I loved the romance side of it, but the plot is definitely the focal point and a bit more... It's just a bit more plot driven, but I loved it so much. I think I've already given like a summary of the plot of the book, but I loved Margaret, the lady we were following, who we were interviewing. I loved her storyline. I loved figuring out like her past and going through that with both Hayden and Alice. And I just loved those two together. I loved their interactions, and they're obviously both on this... Where are they? I can't remember where this book is set, but they're both obviously... They're interviewing her for a month, and they're both in like a new area, so it's like them also going off together and like finding new spots and doing things together that they've never done before, and it's just so much fun. I absolutely loved it. I think I've read a few quotes before, and I just don't want to repeat any, but there's just so many... So many beautiful quotes. And okay, there's one of them that I just read that I don't think I've said, but I'm not going to say it because it's not really a spoiler because it's a romance book, but I don't want to take away from anyone's first time reading this. So in total, I absolutely loved this book. Highly recommend if you haven't already read it. Also, it's just so beautiful. Like, oh. This is now one of my prized possessions, especially because it is signed by Miss Emily herself. So we're finally done. We've finally finished this video. This video started on April... Hold on. This video started on April 1st, and it is now April 28th. So we have been doing this for a very long time, but we have finally come to the end. If you've watched this whole video, thank you so much. Sort of just to quickly recap, so we've obviously read Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. That was a 4.5, I believe. 4.25, 4.5. Then we read The Conditions of Will, 5-star. Still love that book, still think about that book. Then we did Fearless, which was I don't know if I said I was between 3.75 and 4. It's definitely more, to be honest. I think it's like 3.5, 3.75. I'm sort of like in that middle ground, but yeah, 3.5, 3.75. And then we've had Miss Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life, which is a 5-star. So we've had 2 5-stars, 1 over 4-star and 1 just under 4-star. So as a whole, I feel like we've done very well. I kind of hoped Fearless would be a 5-star, but you know, it is what it is. I've already gone into everything I thought about that, so I'm not going to ramble. I'm going to end this video here because otherwise I will ramble and my voice is horrible and I don't want to do that. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these, your thoughts, your opinions. thank you, as I said again, for watching this whole thing. It was probably quite a long video, and I've had so much fun filming it. I've had so much fun reading all these books this month, and yeah, hopefully I will see you again soon. Oh, and please subscribe. Thank you.